All right, so you're sold on content marketing. Well, what next? You need to decide what kind of content you want to create. Will it be inspirational, educational or informative, or entertaining? Take inspirational, for example. Let's go back to our jeans company example. This brand is all about fashion. It might be about a street style aesthetic or a beachy kind of focus. So content that inspires your audience to live this kind of a lifestyle and understand this kind of fashion sense is probably going to be the best place to start. If we think about educational or informative content, let's use an example of a dentist opening up in their local area. They're new to the scene, so they might want to let people know about their expertise. And they might want to share content about dental hygiene, about the best toothbrushes, air flossing versus wax flossing, and other topics like that. And when it comes to entertaining content, consider the example of the jeans company again, who might have different designers and people working for them who are stylists. Maybe a podcast interview series talking about these people's inspiration and the work behind their fashion is a great way to entertain customers and keep you top of mind with them. You might be wondering if you've got to stick to one of these pillars or themes all the time. Well, the answer is no. Consistency is important, but not at the cost of sharing the right content with your audience, the stuff that they really want to hear from you about. And as your business changes and evolves, then you're going to have other opportunities to tell stories. You might start off with informative and educational content. There's no reason why you can't move to inspiring content over time as well. Service-based businesses struggle with this question the most. And I recommend that because you're selling mostly your own services and skills as a professional, that you focus on telling these personal stories as part of your content. The new dentist in town might, for example, begin by profiling their staff and their dentists and saying what kind of connections they have to the local community and why they enjoy their job. So feel free to talk about yourself, just not only about yourself. So you have an idea of what your content topics are going to be by now. What next? Well, you need to place that content in the right place online where your audience is. Let's say you want to acquire a new audience. You've got to ask yourself, where is that audience? Are they searching for questions and topics that are related to your product or business on Google? Are they browsing LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook for content that might be related to what you do? You've got to fish where the fish are. This is the most important consideration because your content, no matter how great it is, if it's in the wrong place, it will get nowhere. If you need some help figuring out where your audience is, check out the show notes on Afterpay Access for more information. Social media is like the elephant in the room with content marketing. We've got to talk about it. So what are the advantages of social media for your business? Well, first of all, it's a great platform to find new customers. People are browsing and looking to discover content about topics of interest, products, services that matter to them. Social media is a great place for you to acquire a new audience if you've got the right kind of content. There are effectively 3 formats that you can create content in for social media: words, videos, images. And some platforms are better suited to some of these formats than others. So Instagram is best suited to videos and pictures. Facebook is similar, but you can use a few more words there. And you can also link out to websites and articles elsewhere online. Pinterest is very visual. YouTube is, again, about videos. And LinkedIn is more about words, and words that feature your opinions, commentary, or expertise. Social media is a great way to acquire new customers, especially if you're creating great content that you can tag people in, that they can share with their friends and their networks. And this is the best way to start with social media. You might have heard of ads on social media, but I never recommend that you start there. Start by posting free content organically and spread your content out through your networks by tagging other people. Once you've built up an audience and you've built up your confidence, then feel free to start experimenting with ads to really scale the impact of your content. Let's talk about blog posts. What are the advantages of this type of content? Well, it should be relatively easy for you to get started if you have a Shopify site or a WordPress site, for example, with publishing your own blog posts. And there's a lot of advantages to this. In particular, the main advantage is that Google will look at your site and it will consider it more authoritative. It will consider larger sites with more content as being more knowledgeable about a particular topic or question. So when your customers and audience are Googling those questions, they're going to have a greater chance of finding you closer to the top of search results. You might even have a chance to be that featured search result at the top. If, for example, you're that dentist, you might begin to write articles about the best electric toothbrushes, about the benefits of braces versus aligners, about the importance of a great smile to help your confidence at work. If you're that jeans company, your content might be more inspirational. It might be about finding the perfect fit. It might be about fashion advice for this season's styles. Whatever it is, this content, as long as it's related to the core aspect of your business that you are an expert on in some way, that's going to be a great idea. And that is simply something that promotional or discount type marketing cannot achieve. Once you start creating lots of blog posts, email marketing is a natural next step, and I definitely recommend you go for it. One of the best things about email marketing is that it's an owned channel, totally owned. Everything you write and when it appears in front of your audience is in your control. While search and social media are governed by third parties and algorithms and little robots crawling the internet, this stuff in the inbox is exactly what you want to show to your audience at exactly the right time. Just keep in mind, email is not an audience acquisition tool. Once you have your subscribers, you're going to be building a relationship with them. And it's more about nurturing that relationship. So over time, as you share newsletters and other content with them, you can warm them up and they can become more likely to be your customers in the future. If you want any more information or advice on the tips that we've discussed today, head to the Accelerate section of the Afterpay Access website and check out the show notes for more info.